welcome to the Wonderboy Comics YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to show you how I draw Anna and Elsa in my own style. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this video is because recently I've been posting some comics on my blog. That's the wonderboycomics.blogspot.com if you want to see my stuff. And in the comments, I had someone ask me how I pencil in my comics so well, because instead of using the computer or like softwares that you'd usually use to shade in stuff, I just do pencil, and I shade everything in pencil. And they asked me how I did that so well. Well, I actually have a secret tool that I use when I'm penciling in my comics, and today I'm going to show you. But before I do that, I'm actually going to draw in this character just so you can see how I do that. Now, every good artist has a reference, and I actually use this. Cool, right? If you don't know what this is, you're lucky, honestly. This is kind of Disney's, like, I think they're trying to copy and make a hybrid of Minecraft and Skylanders and try to make a good game, but they failed miserably. So it's called Disney Infinity. It was for the Wii and the Wii U, and I think the Switch. But I'm not here to describe a bad game. I'm here to show you how I draw. I just use this as the reference because it's in a simple style, and I don't have to focus on every strand of hair since my style is more simplistic. So I just use that most of the time. Okay, before I draw, I'm just going to give you this one note. Instead of having to go back and look at what I've drawn before as my reference, I actually just use the statue. Now, that might be bad in some cases because it isn't consistent some of the time, but because that's my style, I like to make them have goofy faces and stuff. I guess it's alright. So, to start off, I just like to draw the hair, immediately. And of course, like I said, I just follow the statue and just look at the hair and just make it as simplistic as I possibly can. And it's nice to have a physical reference to work with because you can actually move it around instead of having to Google every angle possibly, and it doesn't work. Trust me, I've tried. Okay, so I'll just get that. See what that looks like at that angle. Honestly, drawing Anna and Elsa is really fun. I've drawn a lot of characters, mostly made up, but this is the first time I've had the urge to keep drawing them. All of my original characters are incredibly detailed and a pain in the butt to draw over and over again. And I think that's my own fault, honestly, for making it so dang ridiculous, but I want my characters to look cool. But again, the consistency. Always having to make sure that everything is in its place. That's where just making fun stuff like this is good, where you can just get in the practice of getting familiar with drawing characters over and over again. Now, I suck at drawing pigtails. It's not even funny. What I do is just make lines here to indicate where I want them to go. Should I have them like that? Yeah, I should. I mean, she's in an action pose, or she's bending down slightly, so the movement would probably make the pigtails bend with her, but I'm just gonna make them rise a little bit, just to make them look good. Now what I do is just make triangles. Or, not triangles. What kind of triangles? Diamonds. Yeah, there we go. I suck at naming shapes. I make diamonds, make them come down here. I usually do about 3, and then I end it with a teardrop shape to show the end of the pigtail. And then I do the same over here. Now, the face. Even before I do the clothes, I like to do the face. And I'll do the pigtails later because I really hate doing the pigtails. The clothes will come first. That way, yeah, whatever. The face is... I think that's my favorite part of drawing Anna. I mean, her face and personality just scream energy. And I guess that's why I like drawing it over and over again. I just get to express more of her character. I mean, if you watch the movies, you see that she's, oh, yeah, oh, ooh, just bubbly all over the place. So that's good for a comic book character. It's just going to be a nice little circle, like the half circle. Think of it as like a claw right here. And then little almond shape right there. Now, she's in a little like winky pose, so I might make the other eye like that. Kind of like that, yeah. Hope you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Come on, focus. Okay. Okay, so with the eye, I'm just going to darken it just a little bit. Signify where the shine's gonna be. And the iris, just drawn lightly, and just leave it, because then I'm going to go back and shade it, and then you can see the secret. Okay, that was my evil laugh. And then because she's goofy, gonna give her like a cat mouth right here. Two little hills, and her tongue sticking out. Again, I do this because her personality is pretty goofy, so I can cheat with all of these facial expressions. Although, when I'm drawing my comic, I noticed that I seem to overdo it with the facial expressions just a little bit too much, so they kind of lose their impact. So, word of advice, don't overuse facial expressions, especially if you have, like, serious characters. What makes it funny when serious characters have, like, a ridiculous facial expressions because they hardly ever do it. And so you see them out of character, it's, like, hilarious. It's like, Urza from Fairy Tale. When she gets like her angry face, I always think that's hilarious because she's like the serious type. I kind of like to have the hair kind of flow down over her shoulder just a little bit. I mean, pigtails don't usually do that, but I just like to do that to add volume to her luscious, thick hair. Two C's. Always two C's. Even if you're like applying for a job and you see that you have to add the word thick, two C's. You won't get the job, but you'll definitely make an impression. Okay, on to her clothes. The clothes, I mean, they're not incredibly difficult, but the designs on them. Like, see the flower print right there? And the boots. Oh, googly moogly, the boots. And the flower print right here. Really not that difficult because I like to simplify it. I am lazy. No, I like to simplify it because I have to draw this over and over again. I don't want to have to be worrying that I'm getting the design wrong on one little piece. So, okay, so she's wearing like a corset type thing underneath a sweater. So what I do first is add where the armholes are for the corset. Okay, and then, oops, I kind of messed up. For the inside tube, connects to the chest area to form the rim of the top. Never be ashamed to use the eraser. That's what I always say. It makes the experience authentic. Know what I'm saying? Okay, now to put in the sweater, I just like to put a little indentation here, give it a 3D look. Don't go all the way to the head, just leave it there. Add another line at the back of the skull. Let me zoom in again so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Right about here. And I just put it there. and then bring it up here. It's always good to show like the interior and the exterior of overlapping fold in a costume, like a cape or this neck thing. It shows that yeah, it gives it a more 3D effect, plus it just looks better than having it just 2D. It depends entirely on the type of clothing and your style, obviously, but yeah, that's just another pro tip from a non-pro. Know what I'm saying? And this is where the dress is actually going to flow down around here. Because she's in, like I said, a bowing movement that goes like that way, I'm going to make it flow outwards. Give it little folds to show where the legs and hips are. The hips always are indicated in any loose-fitting attire, whether it be a dress or your baggy pants, because those are the things that stick out the most. Now that we have the corset and part of the sweater, before I do the dress, I'm going to do the dress. It'll help me with another step. Okay, so flowing movement. So let's do that. Have it come out here, here, add a little bumpy bump there, and then make it go this way, crease line, and then here, then like that, just to give it some movement. And it doesn't have to be like crazy perfect, you know? I mean, just to give the clothing some character. And I bet you're thinking, why draw the whole body and erase it afterwards? Because it helps give you the guidelines on where things should fold and crease. Otherwise, it looked like your character would be formless. You know, we'd just be seeing the clothes, not the body underneath the clothes. Alright, so we got the dress. As you can see, the little like flower type things on here are next. They're every other, and like I said before with this, I'm just going to simplify it. Now, okay, so it starts out with spikes. Gonna come out like that. Darken the lines a little bit. Alright, we did that. Now remember, every other. Now, get that in focus, hopefully. Okay. So you can see that it's thick. The lines here, the blue lines especially, everything is kind of like parted. To give it a nice, like, I don't know what you call it. Just a parted look there. I invented a new thing. But we don't have to make it exactly like that, otherwise we would get like a microscope and be like, I can't do it, Mom, I can't do it. And you'd be just rolling around on the floor like Squidward going, future, which you'd have no future. But we can simplify it. Oh gosh. Can I get in that close without killing my camera? Can you guys still see? Leave in the comments, I can't see. Have I gone blind? I looked away from the screen, but everything's still so blurry. So, little feathery things that were there before. Let's just start here. I don't want to start there. It's a bad omen spot. Boom. There it is. Simplistic. Instead of forming the whole entire shape, just form the shadow of the shape. And notice how I make this into a flatter bowl shape instead of the, oh gosh, oh golly. Can you do it? I'm giving my camera a heart attack. Instead of the dipped in thing right here. I'm just doing it like that. And a little bloop right here. Instead of the double So the double dots that are on here, just one. And then add the circles. And this. Like even here, I'm actually giving it shape, but if you're like farther away, making the character smaller, don't even try to make every detail as visible as possible. I mean, the farther away you are, the less detail you see, so I'm drawing this character small a lot since she's in multiple action scenes in the comic, so I kind of have an excuse. Oh, please, camera. Please, camera. Don't do this. Alright, simplistic design. Boom, bada bang. The shoes, I can't be dealing with these shoes right now. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. On flake, they gold. Whatever the kids say these days. It's a cool design, but I don't want to be dealing with that, so I'm just going to draw the boot. Her boot on here, since it's simplistic, it's kind of like an Ugg boot. A really dope, comfortable looking Ugg boot. Dope! I can use that. Dope-ha! French for something. I don't know. I think I just swore in French. Dope-ha! I'm sorry for all those French viewers out there. Okay, Ugg boot. So make it really thick. 2 C's. Make it go and overlap the actual foot just a little bit. A little rise. Show where the heel is. Put the heel in. Little indentation right there. Let me zoom. Please, camera. You can do it. Oh boy, no. Come on, I gotta show them. Okay. That's still kind of blurry. Boom. Little indentation. Oh, crap nuggets. I'm ruining it. Okay, bring it up. Little nudge for a little crease. Get this in here. Little crease. Show the back of the boot. Back of the boot, the back. And then boop out a bow. Make it a little bit square because it's a boot. Da 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 da. You got a boat. You got a boat. Hey. All right, please somebody record that and turn it into a dubbed. Got a boat. You got a boat. Hey. We got the boots done. Now we're moving on to the top again. Sweater part here is what we're going to be drawing next. In my version, it's not as smooth going as this, but it is still thick. So what I do is actually make it bigger than it should to connect with the oven mitt that she wears as a glove. I don't know how well oven mitts actually insulate your hands so that it's warm, because it's supposed to keep out warmth. I don't know if she was thinking about that one when she ran out to go save her emo sister. Okie dokies. I don't again, I did not have to add in the finger since I'm so used to drawing the oven mitt without having to like detail it as much. But again, if you draw everything, the creases and the folds will actually make sense. So, again, make the oven mitt thick. It goes to the base of the knuckle. And then comes out here around the finger. The finger! It's a finger! How do you spell that? How do you spell finger? Finger. Okay, anyway. Okay, wrap it around the finger just a little bit. That straight line like that, because it's a oven mitt. We're not going to see detailed. Get the thumb in there, nice and thick, and then wrap it up. No indication of the wrist and stuff, because again, it's bigger. Wrapping around, trying to keep cold warm. Again, it keeps out warmth. It's not supposed to keep in warmth. Yeah, science. I'm smart. Alright, and there's a little... dang it, my sister makes stuff like this. I should know. Stitch line. There we go. Hey, I'm smart. I can build figure! Okay, now we put in the sweater right here. Oh, wait. Oops, it went too far. Now, with things that are bigger and kind of like draped downwards, they bunch up at the bottom of whatever they're tucked into. As you would see in like sweaters being tucked into pants, they droop. It's not actually the body that droops. If most characters with huge baggy clothes actually look like that underneath. Oh gosh, Aladdin. A little crease. Kind of clean up there. Again, do not be ashamed to use the eraser. The eraser is your friend. Okie donkeys. Okie donkeys. That's another word for you. Okie donkey. Okie donkeys. The fingers here, I mean, here you can see that of course the oven mitt is going to be bent like that. Now, if you were to do this with a real oven mitt on your hand, you would not be able to do this. Since it's a cartoon, the oven mitt can fold in many different ways. So, I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Make it crease like that. Go around the finger here that's bunched up right now. And still indicate the thumb because it is separate from the fingers that are fused together inside the oven mitt. I just clean up the inside. It really does look weird. I should change that. How about it's just like one finger? That looks just so weird. Okay. I'm gonna change this. To just a thumbs up. How about that? Because it just looks way too weird. We didn't pull that off. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I failed. I failed as an artist. I failed as a person. I failed as an artist. I failed as a person. Why do I do it? Am I worth it? Can't even draw. I can't even explain what I'm doing. Should I even be making videos? Who am I fooling? Maybe I should just get into rap. Poetic rap about my terrible artistic career. Okay, we got everything. Now all that's left is the pigtails. So what I do is just plumping up the diamonds. Make them go down to little like icing on a cakey. And then signify lines like this to show that it is somewhat of a braid. It's the crappiest braid I've ever seen, but it does. And I add in more lines. Show the strands in the hair. Beautiful, beautiful, lush, gorgeous hair. Then add that. Then I add more lines up here to show more individual strands. Plus it just looks nice, so that's always a bonus. With the face, I have forgotten that I like to add freckles. Well, I don't like to add freckles. She does have freckles. They're not super, like, visible. in the movie, I don't think. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the first movie, and I have not seen the second movie. But I just like to add, like, big, like, let's just say it's like, okay, stupid camera. Yeah, that's way too blurry. Okay, let's just say zit, blackhead, zit, blackhead. Those freckles. That sounds horrifying, actually. Zit, blackhead, zit. And then I put in some shading later on. Okie donkeys, for good! Let's see our character. Now that the basic lining is done. Ta-da! Now, I shall actually shade that in. I'll actually shade that in fast. What's it called? Speed draw. I think that's the correct word for it. Speed draw. See here in the chest area, I forgot the flower design, the heart-shaped flower design right here. So I just, like I said before, with the flowers on the dress, simplify it. What I do is make the V shape that wraps around here. Just like that. Make sure it does like disappear, vanish quickly underneath here. And then it's going to wrap around here. Make that plant part go in there. And then add that, and we obviously can't see the other side, so in there, we have it. Not too difficult, right? Okay, now I drew a quick little thing. Oh, that did not help. Okay, scoochie. A quick little thing right here. So I can show you what this whole video has led up to. How I do the hair. I gotta fix the friggin' camera. I have no space. I mean, look at this. My whole desk is like a mess. Now for the secret. Instead of an HB pencil for a soft shade, which you'd think I'd be using, I'm going to be using a 2B pencil. This is actually a 0.7 2B pencil lead. This is basically my sketching pencil. Like, I'm surprised that I do everything with this. I only use the HB so that you could see everything better. But with this is how I'm going to shade. But the reason why the shade looks so nice, my friends, I give you this. Made in Taiwan. The Smudger. The Smudger is an incredible tool. It is the tool of the artistic gods for all shading. Well, not all shading, but my style of shading. See, what it does is smooth out all of the lines. So here, let me give you a quick example. Blop, 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 blop. See, rough lines. Let's cross-hatch it. Blop, blop, blop. Rough lines. But then, Mr. Smudger comes in with the pencil side. There's also a color side if you do colored pencil. It also smudges that if you were just interested just a little bit. And see how that does that? See it? So it smooths out everything. Obviously, I kind of pressed down a little bit too hard when I was making those lines. If you were to make softer lines, it would come out smoother, and you wouldn't see your strokes as easily. So now that you see what this tool can do, I will show you how this works for the hair. Now you'd think that I just go and all that, but no. The secret lies in the strokes itself. When I want to shade in the hair, I'm actually going to go with the grain. Pretend that you are a carpenter, and you are going to, I don't know, like make a table or something, so that you can draw and make videos on how to make tables. Just lightly upwards. Actually, no, it'll be better because you gotta make the tip soft first, since this is a 2B. So I like to do this, just make it soft, so you get a nice flat surface next to this buff guy. So now we just go up and follow the movement of the hair, and then we go down, because then we can make a nice shine. Alright. Really gotta stop saying alright. It's like I have nothing else to say, so I'm just like, alright! What do I say? Alright! Nice and soft, lightly. Because that is also part of the shine. Nice and soft. Stroke up when you're down, and stroke down when you're up. If that makes sense. Now I'm going to leave this pigtail just to show you what it looks like without going up and down when you're just doing that. But for right now, I'm going to do the rest of the head. Now that it's all lightly done, you go back and you do it darker. Don't go too high, because that's where the shadow is. Alright, now that we got that going, time for the magic tool. Let's call this the magic wand of the physical world. Okie donkeys. Now we just do this and smudge. We just smudge and smudge and smudge. Now, all y'all, we just get the thing here, and then we just smudge. Nice and smudgy like. And we're not just going to leave it like this, because we still want those nice lighter highlights, obviously. You know, this video is kind of long. I might have to do Elsa in a separate video. Perhaps. Okay, now that it's all smudged, we take our handy dandy eraser. And we want to get back those awesome highlights, right? And so we just stroke. And get the shine. And we tap. And get the shine back in there. And then you go back and add in even more dark. Because what's long, luscious hair without even more light detail, am I right?
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I'm sorry if I'm creeping any of y'all out. Get that smudger tool back in. And bada bang, that's how I do her hair. And I go back and just add some more uppy downies. And show you what it looks like without you using the smudger. And just going. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep using the soft tip and just go over it lightly, of course. Smooth texture. Make it smooth. Roll it out. Make the dough luscious and thick, and then it's all good right here. Okay, now you can use your finger to smudge if you want to, And it kind of has the same effect, but it's not as neat. And it's not as soft. It's more grainy because the actual lead, it's all powdery, gets into your finger and your skin, and that's what actually makes that. But you can go over it again. Darken it. In some areas. And you just smudge again. Okay, so we got our dark. And you take the handy dandy eraser. I gotta stop saying that. And you just make the highlights. Ugh. Of course, I've been using this eraser a lot, so it's not the greatest right now. Where is my other eraser? Oh, here it is. I hate these erasers, actually, but they are necessary sometimes. As you can see, it's working a lot better than my moldable eraser to get the highlights that are necessary. Alright, look at that. Oh, that's just basically what I do to make my, Anna and Elsa. And I will be doing this speed draw, because this video is just way too long as it is. And so with that, I'm going to end this video. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, past videos, and future videos as I continue to improve my artistic skill to the best of my abilities. And I hope you do visit my blog so you can see the comic of what these characters are based off of, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Here's one of the pages. As you can see, a lot smoother than what we did here. Then again, it does look shinier because I'm using ink as well to make the hair stand out more. But anyway, again, hope you enjoyed this. Just go to Wonderboy Comics. Again, wonderboycomics.blogspot.com. Of course, disclaimer, I don't own Disney. If I did, we'd be seeing a lot more Spider-Man movies. I'd be fighting to get him back. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Wonderboy from Wonderboy Comics. Signing off. Getting out. Stopping the video. And all that. Okay, pep pep cheerio. Yeah. Okay, bye. Fuego!